his shoulder against the door here,
And
face this way. Bullet comes
came
through
through
there,
the face.
knocked him back like this.
Right.
He bent. He fallen. The spot on the floor is way back here.
Yeah, right, it is. It's back
And
there.
with
Yeah.
his knees up. So Joseph goes out the window. The minute the door comes open, right here in front of him, and they're squatted down. They're not standing up this way. They're
Right.
shooting down. They got down low shot. One hits him on the shin here. One hits him here and ricochets out into that. One's under here. The other one misses his knee and hits him right here. You got the other guy pulled a hole in the back of the leg there.
Well, it's 4 times. It was either
Yeah.
one man, 4 men with, because they only had one shot. It was either one man and 4 men with a gun. Each had a gun, or there was one man had 4 guns because they only had one shot.
Yeah, everybody wanted a shot.
So everybody wanted their piece of it.
And somebody went across the room to the window and back again,
And Joseph,
one direction or another, rolled him over and shot straight down on it.
Oh, that last
That's
one.
a clean round hole,
Uh-huh.
and it's right directly perpendicular from the...
And that's when John Taylor was under the bed, under the
Yes.
mattress, and Richards was in the room somewhere.
this is the other
You see
bullet
how
hole.
badly that's frayed and torn on the
Now
sides.
put white under it so it'll show up.
That's not a clean round hole from straight into the side.
At
Now
all.
that could have been an elongated bullet, but the guns were not rifled in those days, so
Right.
they would tumble.
Mhm.
The one on the shin was probably one that was elongated and tumbled and hit flat against the shin. I've had a man give me a copy of a sample of their bullets, and I've got one
I
that
got
laid
that ball in
on
there
there.
on the counter. It's like that. It just fits that hole there. Somebody gave it.
And
They
the
weren't
elongated one fits that hole on the shin. That's in just below the shin, knee
So
there.
see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet holes.
After he
And
was
none of
dead.
them have any
After
blood
he was on
at
the
all.
floor.
And tells you what was going on in that day in the
Yeah,
room. They weren't
yeah.
satisfied to kill him. They had to shoot him.
Now, what did they do a lot of other things to Brother Joseph after he fell out the window and things?
Well,
He didn't fall out the window, he crawled out. Put
when you go to Carthage, if you haven't
He
been
never
there,
received a
you look
bullet
at that
till he
window.
was on the
there's no way you're going to fall out that window. The sill is that wide, and the window, he had to put himself out that window. The only way he could get out is to jump out it and stick himself out
I was
through it.
reading
That's
some bullets hit
22
him
inch
before he went
shell.
out.
What?
You can't fall out. A 6-foot man fall off a shelf this high, and only 22 inches square, and then a 22-inch window. Couldn't possibly fall out.
Well, he was trying to crawl out to draw the fire away from the people
Yeah,
outside.
he
Yeah.
just put himself.
What he wanted
He
to do,
climbed
I
on that
think.
windowsill and went out the window and landed on the ground down below. And he did. One record says he rolled as he hit, like a tumbler would hit, but it knocked him unconscious.
Mhm.
And the captain of the Greys ordered him put against the well, and then ordered a firing squad of 4 men to shoot him. And that's where he got the 4 shots.
Mm.
John Taylor says he's got 4 balls. Old Joseph got 4 after he's on the ground. Hyrum got 4, plus the one in the face.
Well, and what you don't know is that we've got several testimonials that have been given to us by people that are around who've had ancestors there, eyewitnesses, and they testify that a large ruffian stood nearby with a big blade ready to collect the ransom that was on his head. They were going to cut his head off.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, and just as that was about to happen, a bolt of lightning hit, or at least a big light anyway. Hit so hard, so forced that it froze. Everybody just froze. It just stopped everything that was going on. What you don't know is that Samuel had heard that his brothers were in terrible trouble. He didn't go to Carthage with them. And he was riding to Carthage full speed with this mob chasing him. And he rode into Carthage just at the moment that light hit. And someone seeing him with these men chasing him at full speed, thinking he was leading the Nauvoo Legion to avenge the deaths of Joseph and Hyrum, called out, "Here come the Mormons!"
Yeah.
And that did it. And everybody
Yeah,
left.
they did. They shouted, "Here come
They
the
just
Mormons,"
left
and they all
the scene
fled.
completely, and that's the way they were able to retrieve their bodies. They would never have gotten a hold of their bodies. they'd have taken those bodies and desecrated them.
Did it
But
come
they
back
got a
up
hold of
kill
them
the
and
other
were
two
able
men,
then
too?
to get John Taylor to safety. He'd been severely wounded, and then to get those bodies finally back to Nauvoo. And that story about Samuel is not known. What isn't known about him, too, is that about 3 weeks before he made that ride, and this comes from his sister Catherine's writings, or her journal, that he had injured himself very severely in his side. And his mother writes, she does write in her book, that that day, 2 hours of arduous riding with the pounding of that saddle into that side opened it up even further. And then she writes, he developed a pain in his side from which he never recovered. And 33 days later, Samuel, too, gave his life incident to these events at Carthage. We never think of Samuel as one of the martyrs. Nobody's ever heard that story.
Yeah.
Well, we can document it, and he gave his life just as surely as Hyrum did for Joseph, because he was trying to get to their aid, because he heard they were in terrible trouble.
And he had a kind of a wound in the side, or
And a wound, I don't know where it was, but it says in his side, and it was so that the saddle, as the horse
found.
like this,
Probably
it
a hernia.
hit against that side,
Yeah.
and his mother says he developed a pain in his side from which he never recovered.
Sorry, so she lost 3 boys.
And all 3 of them.
Yeah.
All 3 of them died within a month. And when they died, that left them completely devoid of any menfolk. William was still alive, but he was clear off in the east. He wasn't even there.
What was he doing in the east?
Well, he was on a mission,
He was on a mission.
and but Alvin had died, the father had died, Don Carlos the youngest had died, now Hyrum and Joseph and Samuel. All of them gone. Now think about those Smith women for just a half a second.
Yeah.
Think what they went through without any support whatever from their men. They were all gone. They killed them all. You don't often think about that and what that family had to go through.
Did William stay?
Well-
Did he go with the 12, or did he go with Sidney Bragdon? Or?
He was a member of the 12.
Well, at that time he was a member of the 12. He came back. Of course, he didn't come west.
Yes, I didn't think he
His
did.
wife was ill, and I think his wife died not long after that. And so that's one reason why he didn't come west.
Well, William's been painted with a kind of he was hot-tempered, and he had troubles with Joseph. They had a few
Right.
family squabbles, and they've been broadcast and blown up until William has become
Bad.
most people don't. It's like Emma in the church. Brigham Young stood in the tabernacle and castigated Emma Smith before the members of the church, turned the whole church against her. And my gosh, I've studied her carefully. You don't find one word of complaint from that woman with all that she stood for. Of course, he castigated her because she wouldn't come west. Well, here was her husband going to be buried in Nauvoo, and she was going to take off and go clear off here, where the only home she'd ever known was in Nauvoo. You think about it. So we have much to learn.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to meet them. Get the real story.
Yeah, indeed.
Wow, this is so incredible.
So do you want to show him? I'm going to see if I can find that picture of you with Hyrum's bust and let him see that profile. You want to take him down and show him that? Dick?
One of Joseph here.
This is a really neat picture here that I.
Those are photographs of a oil painting. Legally, Richards did the paintings.
Yeah, this one's really good, showing the bone structure and stuff.
He's got that cheek structure.
Yeah, he's got the chin, the cheeks, and the forehead. The forehead's really good on this one.
That's my father.
I mean, I can see Hyrum's from the death mask. Maybe the face is a little more narrow than Hyrum's. Do you
You've got
think?
a copy of the death mask?
Yeah.
I've got a copy here too.
Yeah, I have the church gave me the plaster thing, and so that's where I made those 2 sculpture faces from. Look at that.
Well, that's what D.J. Budden did. He took the death mask and just smeared a little clay over it and built up beyond the death mask.
Mm-hmm.
He got the dimensions from Ephraim Hatch, the jaw back here and up here, and then another from here back here to get the proper size of the head.
Yeah.
And then come up with this one and this one here. This is Joe.
What was her maiden name?
Gee.
Why she
But,
looked so familiar.
Her parents were first cousins of both grandchildren of Asos.